The Glow Recipe watermelon products are a cult favorite, but they are also very expensive. So when I was at the grocery store at my Trader Joe's, I found this here, watermelon overnight face mask, and I am quite curious as to how these compare and how these stack up. So we're gonna be doing a little swatcheroo and see if these are comparable, because Trader Joe's actually has some really good skincare and it's decently priced. And when comparing these, hey, if this is a dupe for a cult favorite, I am all for it. The first thing here is that they both claim to do the same thing. The Watermelon Glow Sleeping Mask is for glowing radiance and softening, and the Watermelon Overnight Face Mask literally has watermelon, fruit water, and plant-derived squalene. Suspiciously similar, if you ask me. When it comes to the price point, the Glow Recipe is $45, whereas this is $6.99. And even just looking at the initial packaging, I believe that this is glass. I don't know if this is glass or hard plastic, but you can definitely see that this Glow Recipe one is like a pink Jolly Rancher liquid, whereas this actually appears to be more of a moisturizer. Do you kind of see what that be looking like? When looking at the ingredients of the Glow Recipe one, the main ingredient is water, our universal solvent. We have sodium hyaluronate, we have glycerin, very, very traditional of a nice lightweight hydrating mask. But we also have seaweed as a main ingredient in here, whereas this one from Trader Joe's is slightly different. We have water, propanediol, glycerin. We do have watermelon fruit water, squalene, dimethicone, etc. Now, this also has pumpkin, this also has pomegranate in it, this has a bunch of those exfoliating acids like glycolic acid, and what is actually shocking is that we have some similar ones listed here on the Trader Joe's ingredient list. We have orange, we have a coffee extract, we have jasmine, we have apple, we have grapefruit, we have lemon, we do have more watermelon, we do have sodium hyaluronate and glycolic acid, but they are much further down the ingredient list than in this one. I don't know exactly how these were formulated, so they could be very similar. Overall, it is actually quite interesting to see so many similar ingredients. Now, this does have fragrance and it literally smells like a watermelon Jolly Rancher. This lists fragrance on the ingredient list as well as linalool, hexylcinnamol, citral, and limonene. So this does have a lot more fragrance if that's something that you're sensitive to. This one has licorice and cabbage, which this one does not. But with these exfoliating acids, this is an amazing sleeping mask that you basically put on and you wake up refreshed in the morning. But the real question is, how do these hold up to the face? So I'm going to judge this based on the scent, based on the texture. We've already looked at the ingredients and the price, but I'm also going to do half and half on one side of my face and half on the other overnight to actually see how this plays out. So starting with the very expensive but very nice Glow Recipe, this one still smells like a watermelon Jolly Rancher. This is fantastic, and it is this lightweight, very, very gooey formula, almost like liquid candy, like liquid melted sugar. But when it goes on the skin, it doesn't leave an overly sticky feeling. As you can see, it's almost more of this gel consistency, and it has like a barely there feel on the skin, especially seeing as this is technically an overnight mask. I've also freshly drooped some on my knee, and yes, this goes everywhere, and it smells delicious, but it does not taste as good as it looks. I have tasted this. I don't recommend it. I wonder if I can eat it. It's natural. It's natural. It doesn't taste as good as it smells. Now, on first impressions, this one looks to be more of like a moisturizer consistency, but let's actually see if Trader Joe's pulled through for me. Oh, wow, off the bat, off the bat, it looks more like a traditional moisturizer, but as we take a swoop of the gloop, this smells like candy, but it smells like different candy. I don't know what this is. This almost smells like soap candy, whereas this one smells like Willy Wonka candy. Like, you can tell that this is a $45 candy, but you could pass for this as like a $20 candy. The question is, what is the formula actually like? So this, honestly, it looks like a traditional moisturizer, but I'm noticing that as I spread it on, it becomes much more translucent. Honestly, that is very, very similar. Wow. I can definitely feel the squalane oil in here. Squalane oil is very commonly used in skincare. The glycerin in here is nice and hydrating as well. It's kind of giving my skin this nice sheen. But let's compare it to the Glow Recipe side. And again, the Glow Recipe has a little bit of tack, but it's not overly sticky. If you apply too much of it, it can be. But this does feel very silky and fresh. This one actually, low-key, it feels more watery. It feels more hydrating. That might be because of the propanediol. And this, it doesn't feel as moist. It almost feels like it stays on top of the skin. Whereas this, it's taking a hot moment to dry. Again, this is not sticky. but this is less sticky than even this one. I don't know what's going on here, and I'm going to literally have to test these overnight. Wow. You know, the initial color is very different. This one is a lot more runny, but these are actually much more similar than I ever could have anticipated. And Trader Joe's actually has on their packaging that you can use this a multitude of ways. This specifically tells you how to use it as an overnight mask, as well as how to use it as a wash-off mask for more sensitive skin. I like that they kind of have that disclaimer. They say use it 2 to 3 times a week, and honestly, you can see how liquidy this is versus this one. If I really wanted to see how these compare, I would do this for weeks at a time, but I'm just going to do this overnight and see if this actually makes a difference. Because if you're spending money on an overnight mask, you kind of want overnight results. That is what we're going to be testing. So smell-wise, Glow Recipe is in the lead. Price-wise, Trader Joe's is in the lead. The ingredients for both are pretty darn good, but the question is, how do they actually work on the face? So let's have a little bit of a skincare slumber party and see how these actually hold up once they are applied. All right, so I have just washed my face and I am now towel drying it. There is nothing on my skin. You can see that I have texture. I'm a little oily in this area. You can see that sheen, like I've literally just washed my face. I'm gonna do Trader Joe's on the right and Glow Recipe on the left. And we're going to see how this applies. So a schloop, like so. And then with this one from Glow Recipe, I'm gonna take a schloop. There's a lot less product because it's so Jolly Rancher. So I'm just gonna do 2 schloops because it's the same amount as 1 schloop. You see how they look visibly like very, very different. I mean, this is liquidy. Hey, see, but look at that. They both turn into a similar consistency. Do you see that? They look indistinguishable once you blend them in. I will say, this side feels wetter. This side feels creamier. I feel like the Trader Joe's is almost tingling a little bit more, but that's probably because it's a little bit fresher because I just bought it. Whereas Glow Recipe, I've had that for a hot moment and I've gone through a couple of them. I've never really felt like it burned. And is it gonna leave me this glowy all night? I mean, I'm looking very hydrated. I added a lot of product. Let's just kind of let this soak in. Kind of getting a little flush on this side. I'm getting it on my lip too. It's not bad. It's not bad though. Been a few minutes. I got a snack. Do you see how, honestly, this side maybe looks a little bit more glowy, but they both look very similar. Like you can't tell. They feel so, well, I just did dishes, so maybe my touch is not. They feel so similar. I'm gonna see how they look tomorrow morning. This one looks a little bit more glowy and dewy. Do you see? We have that. Well, we do have that on that side too. It's just not as much. You see what I'm saying? Overnight mask. Well, we'll wear it overnight and we'll see how it goes. Good night. Good morning. Am I watermelon glowing? Or did it all get wiped off on my pillow? I feel like I don't look nearly as glowy as I did last night. Is it just me, or do I look a little more wrinkled on the Glow Recipe side than the Trader Joe side, or is it like equal? Honestly, both sides feel really, really smooth. Neither of them are pilling, neither of them are sticking. It's great. They look the same. Maybe there's slightly more dehydration on the Glow Recipe side. Ooh, look at that. I can get it to pill if I rub it. Now can I do the same for this side? I cannot. You know what? I'm getting the Glow Recipe side to pill just a little bit. Oh, look at that. Oh, can you see that? And it's not bad. Like, it's not bad pilling. But that is pilling. I mean, my skin feels smooth on both sides, but yeah, I don't know. Hear my tummy, I'm so hungry. Okay. That's what we got today.
Same dress, different day, and what's the verdict when it comes to these? Is the Trader Joe's a $6 dupe for this $45 Glow Recipe one? Or do they just both smell nice but work very differently? While I only tried it on camera, for one night, I actually did this for 3 weeks. Not routinely, because again, you shouldn't be exfoliating every day, but for 3 weeks, I did this 3 different times. And I will say that overall, really honestly, the main differences are the fact that one just doesn't have seaweed, the fact that, they smell slightly different, and the price. I honestly feel like these are so similar, and this is an excellent dupe for Glow Recipe. Yes, this one is like a liquid Jolly Rancher. This definitely looks more aesthetic on your bathroom countertop, and it's Glow Recipe. Like if you're looking for a Glow Recipe product, you can't go wrong with this. And it's really easy to find at Sephora or glowrecipe.com or like even Amazon if you find it from a reputable buyer. Whereas this one from Trader Joe's, I can't not recommend it for the price. It's literally $6.99 versus $40-something. Now I will say that when it first goes on, again, it kind of feels a little bit more liquidy, but it leaves my skin just as soft. Neither of them pill up. Both leave my skin just as glowy. The ingredients are almost the same except for that seaweed, and this really is a fantastic dupe, especially, if you're looking at the logistics of it. Now, when it comes to logistics, the logistics of actually getting this is kind of hard. This used to be like all over the shelves at my local Trader Joe's, but then they either discontinued it or they just stopped shelving it. And then I had to go for like the Trader Joe's that's like 4 towns away to get it. And then it's still there, but I'm like, I never know which one I can get it at. And then I've tried to find it online, but Trader Joe's doesn't have like an online store. And then I tried to find it on Amazon, but when I did, it was not $6.99, it was like $15, which again, is still better than $45, and I would still pay like $15 or $20 for this. But I was like, Trader Joe's, what are you doing? They make all of these great vegan foods and then they discontinue them. I'm like, Trader Joe's, why do you hate me? Why is it anything that I profess my love for gets discontinued? Stop coming for me. If you can get your hands on this, this is an absolute dupe for the Glow Recipe. It is fantastic. It is slightly less bougie, but it gets the job done. And if you are an avid addict of this, but it's hurting you in the wallet, this is the way to go. Now, if you are interested in Glow Recipe, and if you're like, I really wanted to buy this for the brand, I love the brand, I love what they stand for, it's amazing and it's gonna look super cute on my counter, and I'm gonna post a, a skincare shelfie with it, then go for it. This is a fantastic product and I would still recommend it. And actually, did you actually see? Fun fact, what happened is that this one's actually much older. This is the one that I first tested. And can you see how the color is slightly different? I went out to Sephora and I bought a brand new one because I recognized that this one was a little too close for expiration for me. And that's why I did those other 2 tests on those other 2 weeks with this one. And I can still say that hands down, yes, this one smells a little bit better, but honestly, they are both almost identical. And if you're trying to save money, this is the way to go. And if you're trying to splurge, getting a tax refund, you got an extra paycheck, then this is definitely a great splurge for your routine. Now here's the next question. Do you have this at your local Trader Joe's? Do you even have a Trader Joe's near you? I know that they're all over California and New York in certain areas, but I feel like they're actually kind of hard to come by. Did you know that there's actually Facebook pages from both Taiwan and Russia of like people obsessed with Trader Joe's, and they come overseas to America to buy all the Trader Joe's things and then they bring them back for friends and family? Like, I did not know that Trader Joe's was such an internationally coveted brand. I would love to know if you're international and if you've heard the rumors of Trader Joe's or if you've ever tried the product. And then if you do live in America, or if you live anywhere, I'd love to know if you've ever been in a Trader Joe's, if you have a Trader Joe's near you, and if you do, does it have this product or are they discontinuing it? Like Trader Joe's, like Joe, please do not fuck with me and my budget skincare routine, okay? And I must also say that we might even have to retest one of these with one of these. This is from Sweet Chef. Did you know that Sweet Chef as a brand is literally made by the same people as Glow Recipe? Yep, Glow Recipe is the fruits and the berries, and Sweet Chef is literally the vegetables. This right here is slightly different, but it's suspiciously similar for literally half the price. This is like 22 bucks. This is 45. This is the Beet Plus Retinol Nightly Firming Mask. And I feel like I have to try these out and figure out if this is a good dupe as well, because although it is different and although it has different ingredients and a slightly more gel consistency, oh, I spilled it all over myself. I will say that the ingredients are quite fantastic and the retinol in here is quite exciting and skin loving, especially because although this doesn't contain a retinol, they both smell quite a bit like candy and they both still hydrate and brighten up the skin. But I feel like this whole Glow Recipe versus Sweet Chef conversation is one that we should save for another video. Overall, do remember to reapply that SPF, especially after exfoliation, and hit the likey and smash the subscribey if you want me to buy and try more products so that you don't have to. Always be beautiful both inside and out, and I cannot wait to see you in this next video. Love you guys. Bye.